When Daniel first mentioned it, I laughed. Not softly, but with a sting of mockery. Seriously? I said, shaking my head. You're jealous of Ethan? He's my best friend, nothing more. Don't be absurd. Daniel's jaw tightened, though he didn't argue. He just gave a slow nod and went quiet, the kind of silence that lingers heavier than words. Later, I told my sister, Daniel's being insecure. He thinks Ethan's a threat. It's childish. She agreed, and I felt justified brushing him off. Ethan had been there for years, through breakups, dead-end jobs, even when Daniel and I first started dating. He was my safe place. But I never realized how it looked from the outside. Ethan's texts buzzed non-stop, and I always replied instantly. Sometimes I laughed at his jokes while Daniel and I ate dinner, leaving him watching me from across the table. There were inside jokes, hugs that lasted too long, conversations that cut short when Daniel walked in. I kept insisting it was harmless, though deep down, I knew better. Weeks later, Daniel tried again. Sophie, he said quietly, it feels like you're giving parts of yourself to Ethan that should belong to us. I rolled my eyes, annoyed. You're overreacting. He's just a friend. Stop trying to control me. That's when something in him shifted. I saw it in his eyes, a quiet decision, but I was too busy feeling superior to notice. I thought I'd won. In truth, I'd just lost. Over the next month, Daniel changed. Not dramatically, but in ways that unsettled me. He stopped asking where I was going. He no longer stayed up when I came home late. The man who once noticed every detail now seemed distant, detached. At first, I called it progress. Finally, I told myself, he wasn't obsessing. But it wasn't relief I felt, it was emptiness. His silence weighed heavier than any fight. Meanwhile, Ethan was still there texting, calling, pulling me closer. I leaned into it, almost spitefully. If Daniel didn't care, fine. I laughed louder at Ethan's jokes, stayed out later, shared more secrets. But the more I gave Ethan, the colder home became. Dinners were quiet. Nights ended with Daniel turning away wordlessly. Then one Friday, I came home from another night with Ethan and saw Daniel in the living room, suitcase by his side. My stomach dropped. What are you doing? I asked, my voice cracking. He looked at me, not with anger, not with pain, but worse, indifference. I can't do this anymore, Sophie. I warned you. I told you how I felt, and you mocked me. I won't beg for respect in my own marriage. I panicked. Wait, you're leaving me? Over Ethan? Really? My voice was frantic, but Daniel didn't flinch. He took a steady breath. It's not about Ethan. It's about you. You made me the outsider in my own marriage. I'm done. The floor gave way beneath me. I had always believed he'd never leave, no matter how much I pushed. But with that suitcase, I saw he had left long before tonight. I stumbled forward. Daniel, please. Don't do this. I'll stop seeing Ethan. I'll change. Please. Desperation poured from me, but he gently pulled his hand away. I gave you years, he said softly. I begged you to see me, but you never did. You only saw a jealous man to mock. Now I see myself and I deserve better. With that, he picked up the suitcase and walked out. The silence he left behind was suffocating. I collapsed onto the couch, replaying every laugh at his expense, every sarcastic eye roll, every time I chose Ethan's validation over my husband's trust. Ethan's text buzzed on the table, but for the first time, I didn't care. His attention meant nothing. I thought Daniel would always stay. I was wrong. My dismissive laughter had carved a canyon between us. And when Daniel finally crossed it, he never looked back. That night, I realized too late the man I mocked for jealousy was the only one who truly loved me.